looking at the two piecewise functions I put on Moodle. So the first one is f of x equals piecewise function with three pieces. The first piece is 3 when x is, grab a different color, when x is less than or equal to -2. So I'm going to go ahead and put my coordinate plane down. And then my start value is going to be at -2, so you're going to use each of the domain restrictions to decide where to start it. So I'm going to go over left 2 because it's at -2, and I'm going to graph f of x equals 3 is just simply a horizontal line. So I'm going to graph a horizontal line at 3. So at -2, 3. I'll put a closed circle because it's less than or equal to. I'm going to graph it to the left. I want to be less than or equal to -2. So there's the first piece. The next piece is from -2 to 1, and I want to graph the function f of x equals x, which is just a straight line which passes through the origin. So I know it's going to cross through the origin, but I'm actually going to use the two endpoints of the interval on the domain to get 2 points and then just connect those 2 points. So at -2, if I plug -2 in, I'm going to get -2. That'll be an open circle because it's just less than. And then at 1, if I plug 1 in, I'm going to get 1, and that'll be closed. And if I connect those two dots, you get your straight line, which also goes through the origin. And if you check the slope, it does go up 1, right, 1, up, 1, right, 1, and it does cross the origin right here. And so there's the second piece. The third piece is -4, another horizontal line, and it's from 3 to 6. But here's what's weird on this piece. We left off at 1. Now we're jumping all the way over to 3. So there's a gap from 1 to 3. There's just nothing. So at 3, I'm going to graph the horizontal line at -4. So I'm going to go down to -4 to an open circle, and they only want me to graph it from 3 to 6. I'm going to go up to 4, 5, 6. Go ahead and put another open circle at my horizontal line at -4 and connect the two dots. And there is the horizontal line, the next piece. That's the first piecewise function that I put in Moodle. The second piecewise function I put in Moodle was this one. And I'm going to go ahead and, again, get a coordinate plane. And I'll start with the first piece, which is it's a V, an upside down V shifted up 4. Now, this is kind of weird. We haven't done anything like this, way harder than what we typically have done. And I want to graph it from -3 to 2. Well, think about the V. It's upside down because of this negative, and it's shifted up 4. 1, 2, 3, 4. So you can kind of imagine the V looks like this, right? But what I want to do is I only want to graph the V from -3 to 2. So let me go ahead and erase that and show you. You only want part of the V. So I'm going to go up 4. And since I am going to include 0, from -3 to 2 does include 0, I can go ahead and put that 0.04 to kind of know where my V's at. And then I'll just go ahead and graph the two endpoints, -3 and 2. Plug -3 in, it's going to be a little tricky. I plug -3 in here, the absolute value of -3 is 3. Then you take the opposite of it, it makes it -3 plus 4, which gives you 1. So -3, 1, and that is a closed circle. And then over at 2, if I take the opposite value of 2, I'm going to get 2. Then the opposite of 2 is -2. -2 plus 4 is +2. So this is what you get of the V. You only get part of it, and there it is from -3 to 2. The next part is a horizontal line. That's simple. We've done enough of those. That's just from 3 to 4. I'm going to go over to 3. Oh, there's this gap again. From 2 to 3, there's nothing. You just skip over 2 to 3. So at 3, I'm going to be at -1, open circle. And then at 4, I'll be at -1, open circle, and I'll have this little horizontal line segment. The final piece is a parabola. So I'm going to graph a parabola shifted right 6, down 5. So imagine a parabola shifted right 6, down 5. 2, 3, 4, 5. So you know that point's going to be right here. And x greater than or equal to 4 is going to include the bottom of that parabola. So you have to think about this parabola. So I know it's going to be a parabola that looks something like this, right? But I don't want the whole thing. I just want part of it. So let me take that away. So I'm going to start it at 4 which is where I left off the last graph. So if I plug in 4 here, I'm going to get 4 minus 6, which is negative 2. So I have negative 2 squared minus 5, which would be 4 minus 5, which is going to give me negative 1. It's still an open circle, so I'm going to use this point right here where I left off. And then I'm going to graph to the parabola, and then it's everything greater than 4. Hit that point a little bit better. Go all the way down there, and then it will just go up. And there's the other piecewise function. So that's what it looks like when you graph both pieces of that piecewise function.